Steph from Art by Bedell, Junk Journal January, with the prompt of nature for January 20th. Nature. I have been waiting for this one. It is like my favorite one out of the whole list, I believe. That puts pressure on me because it's my favorite one. I really want to do it justice, and my journal is getting a little bulky, so I'm thinking about that too. And then I thought, you know what? If it sits on my shelf and it's just like wide open like this, I don't care. I love that. So I'm not going to worry about bulky today because it's my favorite prompt. It's nature. All right, let's open our book. And the pages that I'm going to work on are these two. I've already prepped them with gesso. This is some architectural paper here, and this is old book paper. I have, let me set my book aside for just a second. I have chosen some really yummy things to add on this page. Now, will I add all of it? No, there's no way I can add all of this, but maybe bits and pieces. So here's an echo print I did with leaves, and I really like that. Here's another echo print I did with leaves following Sasebo's method of pressing them through your die cut machine. And you get these beautiful, beautiful prints. So I wanted to incorporate that. I have my texture ribbon from Dollar Tree, which is the brown and the green. I have some ledger paper with some green on it, some scraps here just of echo print paper, another scrap of ledger paper. It has the orange and the blue, but I'll turn it around and use that side. This scrap of handmade paper, and that's all I have of it, is that. Let's see, I have a little stick that I might want to add. And then on this clip, I have some papers that are more handmade papers with some texture in them of leaves and stuff. So I grabbed that. I have some muslin with an echo print of a maple leaf that I had done. Then I got this paper for Christmas like 2 years ago, I do believe. And I haven't used any yet because I just love it. And it's like, do I want to use it? Okay, so I'm keeping it precious and I'm hoarding it. And I thought, you know what? Let's just bring this along and see if we don't add a little bit of that. And then I bought myself just before Christmas a package of this very, very yummy handmade paper. Oh my gosh, this is right up my alley. I just dearly love this, and I am going to sacrifice some of this on this page also. So do I really know where I'm going with this? Not quite really, no. I have some ideas. I don't know that there's going to be a major mind-blowing technique that I'm going to be adding here. I think it's just going to be playing with all these papers that I have chosen and deciding where and what I want to use. So this piece, let me see, the one piece, where'd it go? Down here. I tore down to size to put on this page and to make that my journal spot page right here. So I'm kind of sure that's what I want to do over here. So I will just get this inked up. Now the sun's coming through. Let me go see if I can take care of that because it's leaving some major shadows. There, I believe that helps. So going to ink up the edges of this, and the ink that I'm using is Distress Oxide Vintage Photo ink, which is pretty much what I always use. Every now and then I'll stray from it, but now this page was inked up once around the edge. We'll just add a little bit more. This page was not, so we'll go ahead and add that. A lot of times when I'm working, like I'll be inking up this page, and then I'll go ahead and I'll do the opposite side as long as I have it in my hand. And then that gets me just a little bit further ahead with the next page. And I'm really thinking that will make some beautiful journal spots right there. I'm also thinking that I'm going to probably add something around the edge, like maybe for a border or something small. My main part of my layout is going to be over here. Well, the decorative part. The main part is the journaling, actually, guys, right? So let's take this now and go ahead and glue that down. We'll have that step done. This side of the paper is also beautiful. Look at that print from those fern fronds. Oh, I'm so ready for being back out in nature. When I seen this prompt, I'm like, oh, I want to go to the woods and gather new supplies for that prompt. But of course, I can't even get into the woods at this point. I'd be too afraid to get out on those back roads with the snow and be stuck up there till spring. Okay, so here we go. We'll just add this down here. And then we can have this down, and that can be our inspiration for this side over here. There. All right. So I do have this, but I really don't think I'll be using this because I do want to use this. And I don't see how I'm going to use both of them. So I'll just put this aside for another page. And I want to build a page around here, and I want this to stick out. So I want to take some of my precious paper that I've been hoarding and use it as a background. So here we go, guys. We're actually going to tear a piece of my handmade paper. Now, I do believe this person bought this for me, and I do believe, oh my gosh, look at the yumminess of that color and the texture when you tear it. It's like, oh my, right, guys, right? Oh, that'd make an awesome pocket too, wouldn't it? So if I glued my heart on and left that open, we could have a pocket over here. So I'll save this aside. So I'm really, really liking that. I'm going to tear some of this paper, and it pulls the color of this and the color of this together. Here, yeah, this is gonna be nice, guys. Just like I say, it's more nothing earth-shattering as far as a technique. It's going to be the layering of my yummy papers and getting this really cool. Yeah, this needs inked up. I must do that so that I have the full effect of how that's going to be. Yeah. And this paper that I put through, I can link that below. Can link Sasebo's technique below. But I put this is heavy watercolor paper here, and I put my leaf on it and run it through my die cut machine. There we go. Now we have, like I say, some of these other papers that I have picked out here. I'll just kind of lay them over here. I wanted to get a little green. That was my reason for picking this out. I wanted to get a little green on my page, and that would be just a little. And I really don't want to hide this paper here, but you know what? It's all going to be pretty well hidden. So don't make it too precious. I do want this on top, so there's nothing more I can do. I mean, there's my paper is there. You know what? Let's ink up around the edge of that and see how that looks. I bet that'll look pretty cool. It shows that decal edge, those little tiny torn. Oh my gosh. I love this paper. I knew I'd love this paper. I waited so long to use it because I was afraid of using it, and it was like a lesson to me. You wasted all this time that you could have been using your lovely paper and really enjoying it like what you are right now, because you were hoarding it. Okay, let's take this ledger paper and add some ink to the edges of that too. I guess what you're going to be seeing, guys, is a lot of inking and a lot of gluing and a lot of me talking about not keeping your papers precious and your supplies precious. You want to use them. I mean, that's why you got them, right? I don't believe I wanted that stack of paper just to have it sitting on my desk, although it is beautiful sitting on my desk. But I really, really wanted it because I wanted to use it. I wanted to see it in my layout. So there we go. We can see everything at this point. So I'm not, oh yeah, what can I say, guys? I really like that. I should use this piece. It's the last piece of this that I have. I could use it like down over the heart like that, and I think I will. This is going to stick out. I want that to stick out. I want this up top, and then with maybe, I'm going to have to get my nature quotes out and see if I can find a nice little nature quote that I want to put up there with that. I could also use a lighter piece of this paper here, and it has a little bit of green on it, and I could add that to the top. This is like a mulberry paper also. It's a handmade, I would guess it's a mulberry paper. It tears like mulberry paper. The edges of it are like really feathery and cool. And you can see that more when you ink up the edges, how feathery that is. All those little tiny shreds of paper just, oh. So when they talk about being in the flow and being in the moment, when I'm doing in nature anything, I mean, it's me. Oh, yes. Our stick up to the top, like right up there. That's what we're going to do there. I still want to reserve this pocket here too. Now over on this side, we can add like, nope, that's too much the same. Oh, that's where we can add some of this paper that's not going to get lost so we can see it. We could add it at the top. Well, we got that top thing going on there. So let's add it at the bottom over here. That pulls an element from here over to here. That is good. We have some of this paper that we will put on there. We're not going to waste any of that. So we'll put that on there like that. We have some of the ledger paper that we could use. I want to use just these squares right here. And I'm going to put it behind my page like this. Yeah, and all that journaling there. And then I need to find a little something to put down here. Now I could use, I used brown over there because I'm thinking the green is just too much. I want to stay with the brown. I have a smaller piece of a lighter brown I could put over here, but I'm thinking I want to use the same color brown. Okay, I'm pretty lucky this morning. I have another spool of the brown. So let me just cut like, it doesn't need to be very much. Yeah, see, I needed to keep that the same. And that pulls all of this over to here. We'll put those aside. This came with my ribbon. I could make a tag out of that, and I could use this string, put an eyelet hole up here to tie that all on. I do believe that's what I'm going to do. So I'll need to make a tag out of this. But I could at this point take another piece of my handmade paper and just wrap it right around my tag and glue it on. And we'll have a nice little tag like that to have hanging. Let's do that. Let's do our tag. Let's side that up here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to take my tag. I'm going to take some of my tacky glue. I had a drip there, so I kind of just scooped it up with my finger. I'm keeping my glue on its side because it's low. And let's see, what side do I want? This is, I feel, the right side. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. There. And then I can, if I do this right, I might be able to get this to fold all the way in. Yes. So let's get our glue. And the way I do it is, okay, so what I do is I take the corner and I glue it, and then I bring it down into a 40 or a 90-degree angle like that. And then I'll take my other corners and do the same thing. Bring it down like that. I usually don't have this much overhang. Usually I cut it closer to the size of whatever I'm covering. But this is going to work pretty cool. I think it's like wrapping an envelope here. Now we will take our edges, a little bit more glue down here, and fold them in and glue them down. And this should come together in the center pretty nicely, we hope. And what the trick is to this is that 90-degree angle at the very beginning and not folding it in too much. And see, I'm off on this edge. So I didn't get it right. I was close. I have 3 edges that are right and 1 that is wrong. But there you can see how it could be if I had all of my edges right. This last flap didn't turn out right, but that's okay because I'm going to cover that with a piece of paper. And I think what I want to use is that Echo print there with the flower on it, or some ledger. How about we go with ledger paper that has a flower on it? Put that down. We'll put it down this way so that we cover up the bad edge that didn't meet. Not that we see the other edges anyhow either. Okay, so that could be a little journaling there. And then we'll figure out what we want for a focal point over here on this side. And then that can hang from there. All right, so let's bring our journal back in view here. Let's get this side, all these layers glued down. So I'm not going to do a tuck spot or anything at the bottom of this. Sometimes I do when I do layers like this. You could add a tuck spot, but we have an edge folded under here. There we go. I'll take this way out to the edge and that will strengthen that a little bit also. I thought I had everything inked up, but apparently I don't. So I'm debating on this. It depends on what I find to put over top of it to hold it down. Now over here, we can also start adding all of this together. Since I'm doing a pocket, I'll do the top, the 2 short sides and the 1 long side, and glue that right down about on the center of my page here. Now on the back of this, oh good, is nothing. So whatever I do as far as adding my stuff, I'll have to deal with it on my next layout. There we have a pocket. And then we can add our green paper, and I could have a double pocket. So let's leave, just in case we want to have a double pocket here. We'll do a long side and a short side. Actually, this would be a tuck spot because it's only 2 sides glued down. So now we have a pocket and a tuck spot. Let's glue this beautiful paper down. Brown and green, my favorite colors, earthy colors, nature colors. And then we have our heart that is going to stick out. And it has a nature print on the back. So let me just ink up around the edge of it. And then we won't have to worry about the other side being white because there's a little bit of a nature print showing through. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. So when we put this on, that's what's going to show through on the back side, and that's cool. So if I put this on, I don't want to glue the tuck spot closed, and I don't want to glue here. So I'm going to take a pencil and hold this in place with kind of folding it out as to where I don't want to go past, and then up here, and that area here is where I can glue it down. I'm adding a little extra glue because this is heavier paper. All right, so now I want to make sure that my glue does not go past any of that. And that's where it'll be, is right there. That saves my tuck spot and it saves my pocket. Now for the top, we have, if you remember right, we have this strip. Now it's darker on that side, but I don't like that. I like this. Then we have this, which we can glue down, which is some handmade paper with a little bit of leaves, and we'll glue that right down on top of here. And then we also had a piece of this that we were going to glue up there, right on the side. Now, to attach that, where is my stick? I have a stick that I think would look pretty nice to hang my tag from. So let me get a hole in my tag, and I'm going to put it in the corner. And I'll use this punch, and I'll use the biggest one, which is 3/16, and get a hole right there in the corner to hang that from. Now, I still don't, no, because, I mean, I could put this through here because the hole's big enough, but it's not going to lay flat. That won't work. So, but that would have been cute, right? So we can just tie this on to our stick. We're going to put an eyelet in here. So let me get an eyelet. And the color that I want to use probably will be, let's see, what do we think of copper? Copper or black? I don't like gold or silver with it. I'm going to go with black. So let's take and turn this around so that I can work on the top of it. And I want to get my hole through this to make it more secure so it doesn't rip out. Let's put this down a little further, like there, and get our hole right in our heart. Put a hole in our heart. Okay, 3/16" hole through there, right about there. Come on, come out, wherever you are. Don't rip. Okay, so what is stuck? There, I think the pieces were. And now we'll take our eyelet and we'll put that down through. It's not going to be much that's going to be folded over. There we go. And then as I'm pressing this, my hands seem to be getting in my way. I want to go this way. Put that there, make sure that part's there, and give it a good crimp. Then we want to get it back out of there. See, everything is a little thicker than what I probably should be working with. There. And it went on really, really nice. So there, now we can turn our book back around. And that is where we can take our stick, hopefully. Where'd my stick go? Sammy's stick, actually. That's one Sammy gave to me. She says, here, Mom, use this in your journaling. Here we go. Now, if I can figure out what would be the best way to tie this all on where we get the stick on there, too. I want to come up through. Up through here. Put our stick here and give that a good tie, nice and tight. And if I have to, which I'm going to have to, the top is preventing me from pulling this real tight. Now I could do I could cut my paper so that, and I think I will do that. It's just this one layer of paper here that's holding me from getting close enough to tie that tight. So let's see what happens now. I don't want a bow, I just want a knot. And I still might have to glue the stick down. Actually, no, it's on there pretty tight. I might have to cut the length of it a little bit. Yeah, it's okay. So let's cut this. And then I need to cut that a little bit. I'll get my old scissors and see if it'll cut. Okay, so maybe we'll just break it. Sure. There we go. Okay. So now I need 2 focal points, one for here and one for here. And I should figure out what I want to put in my pocket and my tuck spot. I don't have to do that part now because I can add that when I'm journaling. If I need more journaling space somewhere, then I can just tuck it in. That's probably what I'll do because my journal is getting pretty bulky. And I will save this for an option if I decide I need more journaling space. But yeah, okay, so I need 2 focal points. I'm going to go find that and then I'll be back. I am going to take this piece of paper and sacrifice a corner of it because I want that flower for one of my focal points. That seems to be the one that is most intact as far as a good print. This one's pretty good too. I'm just going to use this one. So I'm going to cut that out. Let's see what I think of after I do fussy cutting. I may decide I don't like that, and then I really will have sacrificed this. Yeah, I'm afraid that the fussy cutting is going to be too precise and that it needed to be a torn flower, but I could change my mind. Okay, so that's not too bad. And then for the other part, I have a couple of choices here. This is bristly locust, and I kind of like this part right here, or I could like cut the top off this here. On this one, I like the fern, so I don't know whether I want to add the fern or part of the bristly locust, or both. Let me go ahead and cut out the fern. So there's how the fern would look. I might be thinking it's a little too big. What if we put the fern over here and the flower up here? And maybe the flower is better size for up there. And the fern looks nice over here. So I think that's what I'll do. I haven't used any tea bag on this yet. And that would go real nice with our nature theme here. And maybe over here. How about a bigger piece over here? I'm liking that. And then I have some labels. We could add a label here. Should have added it over. Oh, we still can, guys. We still can. We can take this label and we could add it to that stick if I wanted to untie that, which I do not. Oops, I'm out of screen. I'm out of screen. So I don't want to untie that, but I could stick it underneath my flower like that, which I think I will do. And then numbers. I love to add numbers too. I don't like the color of that one. How about this one would be good right there. And then another number for on top of that one. All right. That's more like a travel type thing. Let's not do that one. Let's do this one. There. A little more gluing. With our tacky glue, we'll glue down our tea bag loosely. Put it catty corner. Our fern. Let's add an eyelet to this. For quite a while I was out of eyelets, and I was out of, now if I put that in there too, nope, I'm not going to. It cut off too much of my fig word. Okay, anyhow, I was out of eyelets and brown embroidery floss, so I'm happy to have them back in my stash again. And let's just clip this on here. And then how about another piece of string? We did cut some off, so we can add a little more string to this. And just tie a knot in it. Just go a little longer so I have something more to work with here. Cut off the excess. That's going to go on top of our fern here. I'm going to glue this fern down, I think all the way, because it's thin. I don't want it to get torn. And that can go out just like that. This can go here like that. And then our number can go there. And that will finish this cute little collage down here in the corner of our journal page. Yes, I like that. All right, over here, let's finish this with a piece of tea bag, very loosely added with our flower, our Echo Print flower. I don't remember what kind of flower this was. And I want to put that upside down so it can tuck right up there next to that knot, like that. And then I want to get the glue on this so I can get this underneath our flower coming out like that. And then I want to take my number and put that, not there. Oh yeah, I could put it right there. Right, just right there. Okay, now, okay guys, we could call this quits. I mean, this is pretty cool. Or we could add just like a little bit of color somewhere. I mean, I do have that color and this color and some yellow. I'm going to leave it. I'm very happy with the way that looks. I don't want to go overboard. You know what I forgot though? I forgot to add my textured ribbon. Too late. So there we have it. Let me raise this up so you can get a good view. There is the one cluster and our journaling page. All that yummy Echo Print with fern fronds. And then over here, we have that cluster and our heart. There we go, guys. So I hope you have enjoyed this little process video on my nature page. It's my favorite. Thank you guys for watching. We shall see you again soon. And remember, if you've missed any of my videos, in the information box below is a link to my playlist. Also in the information box are other links to my other social media sites and my Ko-fi shop. So check it out, and we shall see you again soon. Bye now.